Hi everybody, this is Colin Auschrat, registered psychologist and couples counselor, and this is my show, Couples and Games. In this show, we're going to talk about how to use board games, card games, to learn skills for your relationship. One of the reasons we're doing this right now is that with all the social isolation, a lot of us are having to spend time much closer to the people we love than we're used to. And let's face it, despite the fact that we love them, they still drive us nuts when it comes down to it. And there are ways to make some of that irritating time together more fun, really. So we're going to talk about different tools. I'm not going to review board games and card games, as I've said in previous shows. This is just going to focus on the game itself and what elements can help you in your relationship and how you can use those elements, as well as how you can magnify them so you get the biggest potential out of the shortest game or the shortest number of games. Let's face it, people, we don't have time. That's one of the major issues we're struggling with too now, is that everything feels crammed right up against each other, or we have nothing but time. And both of these things are very, very different than how we've been functioning up until now. So one of the other wonders of the board game card game is that it has the ability to break up the monotony of time. And you can play it over and over and over again. So the cost benefit ratio is much, much, much higher. So the game I'm going to talk about today is Codenames Duet. This one is really, really cool. It plays like a combination of multiple different games. So you've got elements of Battleship in there, which is neat, or Minesweeper, I guess you could go with. You've got elements of sort of a neat trivia quiz game that's built into it, all with this wonderful sort of spy feel to it. And I can tell you how to increase some of the spy elements, because it might feel a little weak sauce if you just play the game straight out. We're definitely going to cover that. But let's start with the game itself. Alrighty, here we go, guys. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to try to teach you here is how to pick your game. Most people figure, well, you just go into the store, you reach up, you grab the one that you want to play, and then you try to get other people to play it. Sometimes by whining, sometimes by offering, sometimes by nagging, sometimes by explaining, but never by figuring out what the other person wants to play before you pick the game. This is a problem, and this is a terrible way to go, people. It really, really is. So what we're going to do for Codename Duet here is we are going to talk a little bit about what's in there. So first category, conversation and connection potential. Psychologists love to find wonderful ways to take really, really simple ideas and give them these large, amazing names. So we're going with conversation and connection potential. So what you're looking at here is, this is a description of how much time does this game give you to actually talk to the lady across from you or the guy across from you? How much time do you actually get to spend with the person that you care about? Because some games are really, really overwhelming. Doesn't mean they're not fun, but they're not going to give you a lot of time to talk. So this particular game, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 in conversation and connection potential. Means that this game will give you some time to chit chat. This is a great game for starting to break the ice and starting to learn to get to hang out with each other again. It's not going to launch you into huge, deep amounts of time where you forget the game and the conversation goes on and on and on. You're not ready for that anyways, if this is the kind of game you're looking for, or the kind of night you're looking for. That doesn't mean that every game has to be huge. Just like every sexual experience doesn't have to be amazing. You know, there's quickies. And then there's bigger games. We at Games&Couples took a look at it, and we gave this thing a 2 out of 5 for connection and potential. Relatively low, which is not a bad thing. This game will allow you to have enough time to have some nice conversations. It'll give you enough time to ask some questions and to get to know the other person a little bit without being extremely overwhelming. So if you're finding the relationship moment very tense, or if you're finding the relationship in general tense, or possibly even quite new, this is a nice game to sort of smooth that out and add a little bit of extra insulator while you're talking without completely derailing the night. Next category, getting to know you. I like this category because it's one of the most touchy-feely that we've assigned to our games, and we gave this one a solid 3 out of 5. This one is actually, I think, better for the getting to know you portion of it than it is for creating big, long conversations and big, large masses of quality time. So There's some good times here. The major part of getting to know you comes from guessing what your partner is thinking and him or her trying to guess what you're thinking. What a wonderful sensation. You get to learn how you communicate, how you group things together, how you look at the world. And this game will help you get there. It really will. Keep it light, keep it fun, try not to get into any arguments, and don't take the game too seriously. Please don't take the game too seriously. Which leads me to my third and final category, potential for hurt feelings and conflict. Another big name. So what I'm talking about there for potential for hurt feelings and conflict is simply this. We've taken a look at the game and we've tried to figure out what is the chances that somebody's feelings are going to get bent into a twist or a fight's going to start, because there are board games that will start fights among couples who don't know how to navigate some of the tension and some of the conflict and some of the criticism. There are lots, as well as griefing, and we'll talk about griefing more and more as we go on. So this is a good score to know, guys. If you're in a relationship where things are a little bit tense, where nobody's feeling really comfortable with the other one, maybe there's been some arguing, maybe there's been some fighting, and maybe we don't know how to handle conflict at all. If that's the case, go with a nice low number on this scale, guys. So Couples and Games has taken a look at Codenames Duet, and we have assigned this a 1 out of 5. This game is not likely to hurt anybody's feelings. It's tons of fun. It's a great party game kind of feel. You're still looking at some strategy. You're looking at some focus. You're looking at really having to think about how your partner thinks and how they feel about certain things so that you don't accidentally lead them into a trap. This game is available at Apt2Game in Edmonton, Alberta at a 5% discount for all fans of my show and clients of Auschrat Counseling Online and Auschrat Counseling Services Limited.